welcome back to Sham's Makeup Artistry. Today I'm going to do another foundation review. I have been trying out this foundation for good 1 month now, so I do have like my thoughts on this foundation. I did try out another foundation which I have decided not to review, and I have returned the foundation, and it's the Cover FX Play Foundation. I personally felt that the foundation doesn't really suit my skin type, so I decided to return the foundation without even doing a review on it because I just could not make up my mind on that foundation. So with this foundation, I do have a verdict. So without a further ado, let's just get started. And the foundation that I'm going to review today is by Becca, and this is Becca's Ultimate Coverage 24 Hours Foundation. This is a 1 fluid ounce foundation. So this foundation retails at $44. It's available at Sephora and also Ulta, and there are about 23 shades overall in this foundation range. This foundation is not a new foundation, but it has been repackaged, and it has been some time since I wanted to try out this foundation. So I decided to pick out this foundation after looking at the new packaging of the foundation. It kind of got me into it. And if you do not know, I do have a combination to dry skin. Being a full coverage foundation, sometimes it makes me fear whether the foundation would wear well on my combination to dry skin type, because some foundation tend to make me look very dry, and some foundation kind of doesn't really sink in into my combination to dry skin. But with this foundation, I must say that I have been loving this foundation. It is a full coverage foundation. I do have a demo of myself applying this foundation over my face area. I did not use a brush to apply this foundation. This foundation is a medium to full coverage kind of foundation. While I was testing it out, I did use brush to apply this foundation, and I kind of felt that it was sitting on the top of my face area. It was not actually blending into my skin. So I did not like the application with a brush using this foundation. I personally liked a beauty blender with this foundation. There are foundations that I like applying with brushes, but with this one, I would say that go with a beauty blender. Being a medium to full coverage foundation, if you want it to sink down into your skin well, I would totally recommend you using a beauty blender. And a little pump of it goes a long way. I do not really have scars over my face area. It's pretty much clear, and I need like a tiny mini pump for all over my face area, and it gives me an even application. And I'm actually wearing it on my skin today, as you guys can see. It gives me a perfect coverage. I do set in this foundation. I actually use my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush finish powder to set in the foundation on the areas that I have applied concealers as well. This foundation comes with a pump, so it's much easier to take control of it. Again, a tiny little pump goes a long way with this foundation. So I have a very quick verdict actually on this foundation. If you guys have tried out this foundation or you do have it in mind, definitely let me know what you guys think about this foundation. I personally do love this foundation. Also, while I was testing it out, I did use primers over my face area because that's how I usually do my makeup. So for me, it doesn't make sense when I do not use primers because that's how I personally apply makeup. So whenever I do a review, I do put on primers. I do not skip that step and then do a review for you guys because I want it to look exactly how I personally would put this foundation to use. It is, of course, upfront is stated 24 hours foundation. I have not worn this foundation for 24 hours, but when I apply it, I personally do not feel that it's a matte looking foundation. It kind of wears like matte at the same time a luminous kind of feeling to the skin. It doesn't look really dry, like really extremely matte, especially for dry skin girls. You do not want the foundation to look really matte because it will dry up your skin. This one kind of like gives you a matte at the same time luminous kind of finish, and it doesn't emphasize on any dryness on the face area, and that's what I like about this foundation. And I noticed that on my T-zone area, I do get a little bit shiny, which is usual, but it doesn't get awfully shiny, and I do not need to blot my skin or touch up my skin over the hours that I have personally worn this foundation. I have personally worn this foundation for a good 8 to 12 hours, and I can vouch that over the 8 to 12 hours, this foundation just looks as good as the first time that you have applied it on the skin. So I do hope that this very quick review and also demo helped you to decide or not you're going to pick up the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24 Hours Foundation. If you have tried it, again, let me know what you guys think. Till my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all your love and support, and please, 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 please subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.